Children, come up here for some story time. Jesus said in Matthew 19, he chastised his disciples for not allowing them to bring the children to him while he was teaching. He said, "Let the children come, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." So I ask all of you, I love those that are young in heart are coming too. I love that. Still a moment or two for you to come. So I want all of you to put on your childlike faith and hear this story as if it was the first time you ever heard it. This story is called He's Here. It's based on Luke chapter 1 and 2. You may have heard it called the Nativity. Everything was ready. The moment God had been waiting for was here at last. God was coming to his people just as he had promised in the beginning. But how would he come? Who would he be like? What would he do? Mountains would have bowed down. The seas would have roared. Trees would have clapped their hands. But the earth held its breath. As silent as snow falling, he came in. And when no one was looking, in the darkness, he came. There was a young girl who was engaged to a man named Joseph. Now, Joseph was the great-grandson of King David. One morning, this girl was minding her own business, and when suddenly a great warrior of light appeared right there in her bedroom. He was Gabriel. He was an angel, a special messenger from heaven. And when she saw this tall, shining man standing there, she was frightened. "You don't need to be scared," Gabriel said. "God is very happy with you." Mary looked around to see if maybe he was talking to somebody else. "Mary," Gabriel said, and he laughed with such gladness that Mary's eyes started filling up with sudden tears. "Mary, you're going to have a baby, a little boy, and you will call him Jesus. He is God's own son. He is the one. He is the rescuer. The God who flung the planets into the air and keeps them whirling around and around. The God who made the universe with just a word and could do anything he wants at all. He was making himself small and coming down as a baby. Wait, what? God is going to save the world with a baby? But it's too wonderful, Mary said, and she felt her heart beating hard. How can this be true? Is anything too wonderful for God? Gabriel asked. And so Mary trusted God more than what her eyes could see. And she believed. "I am God's servant," she said. "Whatever God says, I will do." And sure enough, it was just as the angel said. 9 months later, Mary was almost ready to have her baby when Mary and Joseph had to take this trip to Bethlehem, the town where King David was from. You remember him? The great-great-great-great-great-granddaddy? But when they reached that little town, they found that every room was full. Every bed was taken. "Go away," the innkeeper told them. There just isn't any place for you too." So where would they stay? Soon, Mary's baby would come. And they couldn't find anything, anywhere, except an old, tumble-down stable. And so they stayed where the cows and the horses stay. And there in that stable, right there among the chickens and the donkeys, in the quiet of the night, God gave the world his wonderful gift. The baby that would change the world was born, his baby son. Mary and Joseph wrapped him up to keep him warm, They made a soft bed out of straw, and they used the animal's feeding trough as a cradle. And they gazed in wonder at God's great gift. Mary and Joseph named him Jesus, Emmanuel, which means God has come to live with us, because that is exactly what he did. You may go back to your seats now and take that childlike faith. Continue your journey.